All right, welcome back to the Elusive Outdoors podcast. This week we'll probably be talking a little bit about turkeys, Zach's favorite meat.
I don't know about that.
Everybody loves turkey meat. No, and some application strategies for the everyday DIY 9 to 5 hunter.
All right.
And kind of what each of us do individually and as a group. We all work different jobs. We all work full-time jobs, run businesses on the side. This is one of them. And I think it's just good to talk a little bit about strategy that way as far as something people can relate to. Mm-hmm. So if you guys don't mind, drop a comment, like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. But then again, if you don't want to, it's a free country. Trump's in office, baby. So if you don't want to do any of that, thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it if you leave a review on Spotify. It helps us a bunch, but welcome to the show.
Episode 3?
Episode 3.
Yep.
003. Episode 3.
I already got my first one out of the way last time. So
Oh, man, you're ready to rock then, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dan's ready to rock. He's basically a veteran at this point.
Veteran
He's catching up
podcaster.
to me. He's always going to be one behind.
Oh, yeah.
But so let's talk a little bit about the application season, right? We're in the heart of it right now. At least for a Western hunter's perspective. It's completely different. If you live in the East, I'm sorry, this might not be the podcast you want to listen to
I've never
this
been
week.
hunting over there yet. So
Well, maybe no. A lot of Eastern guys do want to get out West and hunt. So this actually, if you are from the East, tune in because there's a lot of 9 to 5ers. I actually know a bunch of people that live in Ohio and Kansas that I'm good buddies with that
That's the Midwest.
haven't. I consider Ohio East because it's east of where I'm at.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I'm not very good with specifics, but I know a lot of them that do work 9 to 5 jobs and that would enjoy coming out West. It's not going to be an every year thing for them. It would be every 5 years if they're lucky kind of thing, or a once in a lifetime trip for a lot of those guys. They're a lot like us.
Which is, let's talk about that. As a Utah resident, does it not drive you crazy that somebody from out of state can put in for every once in a lifetime hunt
Oh, and we can't?
and we cannot?
Yeah, that's a little weird. Is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Fact checkers, if
I'm not.
check that.
I'm
a
pretty
resident, so
sure.
I didn't
If
know.
you're watching this, check that.
I'm pretty sure they can put in for...
Look it up.
If
Jamie.
we had Jamie, we're not Joe Rogan yet. Once we hire Jamie, we
Isn't
can
it
have his
Jamie
ass.
on Joe Rogan?
Zach will search that up, but while
Maybe I'm
he's-
wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they can every year put in for every...
I know that's nuts. Here's
Once in a
another thing
lifetime.
about the application process, and we won't need to drive into Utah's application too much, but that bugs the shit out of me is the fact that you can either apply for limited entry deer or antelope.
Yes.
Why not make antelope a little easier to get a tag? I mean, it is a damn goat. I get that there's management and there's numbers and herd health and all that shit plays a factor. I get it, blah, blah, blah. But here you are dumping in a ton of money. Not a ton of money. You're up in a bunch of applications and making a ton of money off of people shooting 2-point deer. I'm talking to the DNR, the Utah DNR.
Ooh.
Off of people
Or is it
coming
the
to our state.
DWR?
The DNR, do not resuscitate if you see one of them laying down. I'm just kidding. They're all great people. It's not the individual, it's the organization. They're upping the tags on mule deer. They're killing off a lot of elk in a lot of areas. I still can't draw an antlerless elk tag. I have 5 points for that. Stopped applying for that. It's a cow elk tag. Come on, man. And the second thing is you're killing a lot of young mule deer bucks. If you're looking for an opportunity state, Utah's probably not the highest on the list as far as opportunity. Maybe if you're non-resident, at least for resident, it doesn't feel that way. So why not make antelope a little easier? That's what I'm getting at.
I'm never doing limited entry antelope.
So weird.
like
I have one antelope point, and
I'll go to Wyoming or
I'm
somewhere.
kind of pissed that I applied for antelope that year, because now I have one less limited entry deer point, and that's going to take me a lifetime to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm never doing that for limited entry for antelope ever.
So if you're watching this, Utah, consider that. That's just freaking weird. I don't get it, man. I get there's probably a management strategy and all this, and we have pretty good goats in Utah. I wouldn't say it's amazing.
Seems like there's a lot of them, though, huh?
We have there's certain areas in the state I feel like we've got a lot of antelope running around.
Yeah.
And they don't die off. I mean, we don't get as hard of winters as Wyoming and things.
Right.
And look at Wyoming. me as a non-resident can go hunt Wyoming antelope more often than I could hunt an antelope in Utah because it's like drawing a freaking Henry's Mountain Deer tag.
Yep.
It's not a 20-point tag, but it still cuts
7,
into
8
my
years
20
probably,
points
yeah.
that I'm applying
About
for
7 or
Henry's to
8.
apply for a goat. And
I
that,
never did that.
to be honest, that kind of pisses me off.
Yeah.
But when you drew your antelope hunt, that was fun. But it was like years ago. We'll never do it
Super
again.
Fun hunt.
Never
But
get to do it again.
would I pick an antelope over a limited entry deer tag?
Never.
No.
So that's one thing that just irks me, and I didn't want to. Like I said, this isn't a rant podcast, but there's
You've
some
been
things.
ranting like crazy, dude. Get it together.
Maybe it's like
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
drama train. No, but there is some things, right, that are just weird,
Yeah.
right?
You know what else is weird that I'm not for sure on, and I'm not very smart at all this
Fact
stuff.
check us, people, please.
Do cow elk have ivories?
Mm,
I've been told yes. I've been told no.
I don't know if that's a mature elk thing or a mature bull elk thing. That's again, you're listening to 9 to 5 hunters here. If you're from the east, you could probably find.
I thought about that this week
find
after a
somebody
kid
better.
said that he pulls all the ivories out of cow elk, and I'm like,
Maybe
do
he's
they
just
have ivories? I thought it was only bulls, but
maybe he's just plucking all their teeth, thinking they're ivory.
I don't even.
They're white. They're ivory.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't even pay attention. I just kill them and eat them.
yep.
Then again, though, like their ivories are like their molars, and they basically like chew their cud with it, right? Don't get me started on anatomy.
Right.
I don't even.
I know, crazy
Chase is
as
gonna
this
Google it.
is, I killed an elk one time that had 6 ivories.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I thought you were gonna say 6. I thought you were gonna say 6 teats. 6 little teats. It was feeding calf. But anyway,
Yeah,
so
they have ivories.
cows do.
Okay.
Cool.
I never pulled them out because like I said, I kill them and eat them.
Yeah.
I pulled out the bull's ivories.
My dad
I
always
didn't even
collected
look on a
those.
cow.
Collected ivories growing up. They're cool to look at. We never really did much with them. He may have made a necklace or something. Off the topic of ivories, we're kind of going way wild here. This is, what do they call it? The Donald Trump weave. We're just weaving it in here, guys. I don't know where we're going with the ivories, but back to some application strategies. So if you are from the East, yeah, I think you can pay attention to us. It's not like we know everything. We don't claim to know everything, but we can relate to you in the fact that we know that money, especially in the economy we're in, is pretty tight. And you can't spend it all in one place because first of all, you don't have enough to spend it all in one place. Second of all, it takes time to draw realistic tags. If you're like us and you're listening to this and you can relate to us, you're not a millionaire. You're not buying a tag, 5 tags, 20 tags a year, or whatever it is. So I think some of this information could be helpful.
That'd be the dream, though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
if
day.
I had the money, I'd do it.
Yeah, it's
Me
like
too. I live
we
in a
we
small
talk about it
house
in a
and-
condescending
Every
tone
day.
that like it's condescending tone that, hey, you're buying tags. We all know we would be doing the same thing.
Oh, 100%.
I cannot. I don't want to give off the hater energy. It's not
Not at all.
I think that's amazing. If you
You
can,
got the money, go buy
and
it, man.
a lot of times they're supporting conservation, right?
What
They're
tag
raising
would you
a ton of
buy
money.
if you did have tons of money?
Ooh,
I'd be a sheep guy.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
travel the world.
yeah,
hunt
sheep would be cool. Get the roundup of sheep, but I love mule deer so much. I would probably either buy like a governor's tag of some sort, maybe a Nevada, or Antelope Island would be epic.
Oh, yeah. That'd be
It would
cool.
just be cool, man. Goes for a lot of money, but if you're worth it,
What about
cool.
you?
he'd be
In
chasing
Utah?
sheep.
If I was buying tags in Utah, or just
Just any tag if you could buy it.
I'd just be chasing every sheep out there.
Would you?
Oh yeah,
Just whatever you want.
that's all I watch on YouTube anymore.
Dude, I think I would go. So I know a guy that gets to go hunt Tiburon Island for bighorn sheep, and it looks so cool.
Is that in Alaska?
No, that is desert bighorn sheep in
I am
Mexico.
sorry, guys. Tiburon Islands. That sounded like somewhere in the middle of an ocean.
It's in
That
Mexico.
just shows you the pay grade that I'm on. I don't even know where the sheep live, let alone hunt them, guys. I look at a sheep hunt as it's just out of my reach for my entire life, and maybe that's just
Yeah, I'll probably
low goals.
draw in 30 years. I got 5 points after my
Believe in
bison
yourself.
hunt. So
Maybe I should believe in myself more.
I think I'd do that one, or maybe Sonora mule deer, dude.
It's okay to dream.
Those
Sonora mule deer
bucks.
look sweet.
Oh my gosh,
Or
I love mule deer,
I'd go hunt red stags too.
stags,
that'd be cool.
sheeps, mule deer.
I got a buddy going in a couple weeks, going out to New
Is it
Zealand.
sheep or sheeps? I just said sheeps.
I
That
don't
sounds
know.
like 8th grade. See, there again, I'm just showing my complete incompetency to talk about that subject. Well, yeah, I'm going to go kill a 165-inch ram. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But
Not a
it'd be
sheep
cool.
guy then.
I tell you what, though. Put some money in my pocket, I'd be a sheep guy probably quick.
Yeah.
But anyway, so some general strategy that you can relate to in a 9 to 5, and just some considerations I think is important. I know, like I said, I know some people from the East that have thought about wanting to come to Utah or Colorado, and like I said, they don't have yearly money.
Yeah.
It's something these people are saving up for. We know how important, well, just how tight things are right now, and if you are saving some money, some of you watching this have an account that you're just building some money and you want to go do a hunt, there might be some tips that we can share that way. And I think the first thing that I would bring up is pick 3, max, maybe 3. You could do 4, but pick 3 realistic states that aren't too expensive to apply, that you can apply for, and just start building points. I think that's obviously first one, but don't overwhelm yourself with all 13 Western states if you're coming to hunt the West, or if you live in the West and you want to just start bouncing out to like the Colorados or wherever you're going. And the Colorado people will hate me for this because they already comment on our YouTube films that they hate people coming into their state, and whatever. It is what it is. We got people coming into Utah to hunt too.
Yeah, people are going everywhere.
It's going everywhere. But I would say pick 2 to 3 states. I don't know if you guys have any different opinions there. Pick 2 to 3.
I mean, if you've never hunted the West, there's plenty of states surrounding Utah that you can do over the counter.
There's a lot of over-the-counter options.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
good
where
point.
I'm at right now.
That's a great point. I mean, you can do over-the-counter in Idaho. It's obviously sells out fast. You've got Colorado options for elk. I'm not sure. The states that I do avoid, and this would be something that I would maybe caution first-time applicants. Maybe don't avoid, but make sure you consider this. Some states require you to buy a hunting license before you can apply in that state.
Couple
Now,
$100.
Couple $100, $150. Consider that if you're applying for the next 10 years, you're potentially buying a $150, $200 license every year along with your application fees.
Plus, some states you have to pay for the tag up front too.
Yep, there's also that as well. You're going to be, some of them like New Mexico, you're going to put in all your pennies up front. And if you don't draw, get a partial refund. So
You can time that, right? So if you time it,
just
because
right.
their draw results
That's
are a
what
lot
Kyle was
quicker.
saying.
So if you put in late, then it's a quick draw.
Yep.
The money goes back onto your card.
So
pretty
husbands out there, if you got a credit card that the wife don't know about, wink,
quick.
wink.
Swipe.
Yeah, have a
Swipe
secret,
on
have
that credit card.
secret war chest.
Of a war chest. No, that's a good point. I think New Mexico's a pretty good option. I've never hunted there personally.
It's nice because it's a level playing field. There's not a point option, right? So it's
It's just not a lottery. It's all random.
Then again,
Random draw.
What did our buddy Jeremy at the expo tell us? He's going on a moose hunt in Alaska for what is it?
General budgeting.
18 grand or something.
Yeah. What is it? Is he doing $50 a day? Or is it
20 or $50 a day.
20 to $50 a day? And
for
again,
2
I'm not a
years.
math
And his
whiz.
hunt's in 2 years, but by then he'll have enough to.
Do a moose hunt. Guided moose hunt.
That's like 3 Zen cans a week.
Yeah.
Stop Zen boys.
If you got Zins, if you got a Zen addiction, cut that out and start putting that in your bank account for your
Every
hunts.
time you buy a Zen, put the same amount as saving.
Yep.
Yeah. Some states that I would just put on your radar to look a little more into before you start applying. It's definitely, I mean, Arizona has some over-the-counter options, but that's another state you're going to have to buy a license, and Nevada. That's one of the reasons I haven't started building points in Nevada is because I'm just maybe barely now, as far as like financially maybe being able to apply for things like that. Nevada's one I would maybe avoid. I'm not sure. I think Utah, you might have to have a license too, but it might be a lot cheaper. I just know that by the time you draw something in Nevada or Arizona, as far as like the coveted stuff, maybe like a big bull, you're going to be potentially $5,000 to $10,000, whatever $1,000 into years of application fees and licenses. So consider that when you're applying for the West. Wyoming's a good option, I think. They've got good mule deer opportunities in Wyoming and antelope. We've just got done talking about the antelope opportunity in Wyoming. Don't forget predators too. You can come out and slap some coyotes if you want.
Oh,
I mean,
or a
there's a
cougar
lot
now.
of things that are budget friendly that you can come out and just explore the country. If you are saving all that money and you only have one trip to do, I can't tell you exactly what to spend that on. But
Another thing though to consider is like when we go, a lot of times we're looking for opportunity to just get out and hunt. We're not looking for the best unit.
Yeah.
Where we're going to kill the biggest animal.
Some people, I
saving
think,
all of our points.
get that in their head too.
Like, man, for a lot of years we did 0-point units in Colorado and we still killed some really good deer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Couple,
But we got out.
200.
And so if you time that like me, I've got dedicated deer tag in Utah. If you don't know what that is, it's 2 deer in 3 years. Shot one this last year, so I've got 2 years to kill 1 deer.
Yep,
so
gotta
what I
skip a
want to
year.
do is plan like, okay, I could draw Colorado this year.
We've got 3 or 4
next
points
year.
there now.
Yeah, so party tag there, and you just kind of play it that way. Where okay, you've got your Utah guaranteed deer tag for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't kill this year, I definitely want to hunt in Colorado. If I do kill, I can still go to Colorado and kill.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if not, next year I'm
So what you're
guaranteed a
saying
tag,
is
so.
he's getting into what we would consider, at least in our little group, is kind of like the staggering method.
Yeah.
You're never going to get it right, like perfect. There's going to be a year where you don't draw anything.
Yeah.
And this maybe isn't directed towards that one-time saver upper in the East, but there's going to be, if you do it right, you can almost hunt at least once every year, realistically, for a 9-to-5er. Again, if you're a sheep guy and you're watching this podcast, you're thinking, what peasants with your rich guy laughing your pinky in the air. But so tune out.
I hope that's me one day.
I hope that's us. Yeah, like we have nothing against you. This just isn't the podcast for you. But if you stagger it right, you can hunt. Realistically, you can hunt just about every year.
Or if you need some guys to come film your awesome sheep hunt.
Yeah, plug that in.
I mean,
Let us go.
Media. We know some media.
yep.
But like this last year, for example, we did Arizona Coues. I had an archery permit that took me about it was basically 0 point in Utah. Didn't kill there. I had 3 Arizona points built up that I had just applied for Coues deer over the last 3 years. We got a group together, 4 of us, a buddy and his dad, and me and Kyle. We applied as a group. That's another thing to consider. If you have a couple close buddies, start applying with them. Split the costs of things if you need to, whatever. Pay your buddies back if you absolutely have to. We get that, like I said, money's tight, so that's something to consider as budget. But start applying. And like I said, I didn't apply for Arizona until 3 years ago, but I had 3 points, got a Coues tag, killed an awesome Coues buck.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't fill my bow tag. I had an opportunity to hunt 2 different tags as a Western hunter, 9-to-5 guy. That was a great year of hunting for me.
Yeah. That's
Realistic, right? I could have done an over-the-counter Colorado or whatever, but like the funding just isn't there for me realistically to
Yeah.
just
And the
bounce all
days
over.
off. You know, a lot of people.
Time off. Consider that.
Another thing that I'm doing, kind of a strategy, is I am paying for my mom and dad to put in every year. And now that I've got kids that are getting to the age where they can hunt and they can gift the tag to one of my kids.
The Utah program
Yep. And so I put in for my parents every year.
with like
General
full expectations. Your mom's not gonna hunt.
They
or
don't
she
care. They
Yeah.
they don't really care to go. And so
Mentor
the
it.
idea is, bank a lot of points, and if my kids draw on their own, then I'm using them as a party tag, putting it in. They've got some more points to up my chances.
That's one
as
thing
well,
that
so.
irked me. It's like, so with my dad passing away a year ago, all those points are gone.
Yeah, there should
Yeah.
be. There
I
should be
wish
like
there
a
would. We
beneficiary.
talked about that at the
Yeah.
expo. A point beneficiary
That'd
in
be
the
cool.
family that
Like some
something
of
to
these people
consider.
have 25 plus points and they pass away. And
Then they just,
Gone.
they're gone.
it should be like to the youngest grandkid or youngest kid.
Because to
or
be honest,
something,
dude, that's a lot of money they just made off of you just to die before you get the tag. And I don't mean that in a negative light of like people passing away. I don't want it to be a conversation about that. But man, like
there should be something.
from the program itself, like show some respect back to the people that are funding your job, like as a organization, right?
Especially because nowadays in Utah, the points creep's crazy. Like,
And
some of
maybe
some
I
of the
could be
youth
speaking
might
out of turn. There might be something like that. I have no idea. So
I don't
if
think
I'm
so.
wrong,
You just lose it, but
yeah,
it's
you just
gone.
lose it.
Yeah,
And so I don't know how many points my dad had, but he passed away. and those points are gone. I wouldn't even mind if there was like an account that they could go into for 3 years for someone like my son Archer, who's going to be 6. He's going to be 7 next year. Start hunting small game within the next 3 years. What is it? 8? Is it 12?
You
So
can,
by
you can
12.
be 11 if you're 11 turning 12 during the hunting season.
But like he's going to be carrying around a weapon, can hunt small game, whatever, right? If we get his hunter safety. Like for someone like him, it'd be cool if those points could go into a bank right where my dad would want those points to go. Would be to someone like Archer, right?
That'd
My
be
son.
cool.
And so that's another thing that's just kind of, that's a good point to bring up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just annoying. There's certain things that Utah specifically does. And this isn't us trying to scare you. Like if you're the Eastern guy, we're not trying to scare you away from Utah. Come hunt Utah. We love it, whatever, right? But again, try not to shoot all the dinky bucks too. I mean, everybody, it's an opportunity. It's your hunt. You're spending a lot of money, whatever. Come and enjoy it. Utah's a great opportunity stay, I think, at least for non-residents and for general season deer. Anything outside of that, you're going to be waiting a long time or get real lucky.
Yep.
It's a lottery, and elk especially takes a long time.
Make sure
And
you
limited entry.
Make sure you
bucks.
do your research too. Like I constantly every day scrolling through the Go Hunt tools.
You're just looking
looking at all
into
that
stuff.
So
And create, like I said, create a group chat like
Yeah.
with your little powwow group. Everybody's got it. Whether it's your buddies at work or your hunting buddies. Create a powwow and just start bouncing ideas off
makes
of
it a
each
lot
other.
cheaper for supplies to go camping or hotel rooms
Exactly.
or travel.
Pick 2 to 3 states, lock one in, and then I wouldn't even say 2 to 3 states and like maybe 1 species. Like don't be like, I want to go to Colorado just so I can chase all 3, antelope, elk, and mule deer. Like space it out a little bit. You'll save some money, and you'll also go and have a really good experience, and you're not going to be overwhelmed with trying to your first time stepping into the mountains of Colorado, trying to kill an elk and a mule deer.
And skirting around the private.
Skirting around the private.
Yeah, a
and,
lot of
And
that.
2, risking potentially going home empty-handed and having put all that year of hard-earned money into getting those.
Yeah. Draw out for deer
Tags.
and then put in for something else after you kill your deer.
That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
Or another good option is
Just keep killing deer.
you can just keep killing bucks because we love mule deer around here. No, another option is like if you have a buddy that maybe didn't get applied with the group or whatever, if you don't want to apply, you apply separate. And
That's
you
me.
2 of you draw a mule deer tag, go out there, snag an elk tag.
That's what I'm doing this year if they draw. So
Yeah.
Remember that time we
an elk
traded
permit.
off some work and I bought an elk tag for you to do some video
Don't
on?
talk about it.
And you
Dude,
sat
you
in
have
the
to bring it out.
truck.
Dude, you shoot all my ammo at
Big
animals. And
6
he's
point walks out and we're hollering
5.
for Sky.
It was broken.
He was a
Don't let
big
him-
6 on the one side.
He was busted.
He comes
5.
out. It's the only elk we
Busted
see.
5.
He would not leave the
Went to a
truck. He
big
thought we were
6. It was
lying.
busted 5.
He thought we were lying the whole time, and he's laying in there sleeping. I'm like, dude,
I was
get
on my
out
phone because I didn't get any service, dude. I was a
Anyway.
diehard Western hunter. I was on my phone.
Here. I had my gun set up right on this bull, like 300 yards the first time we seen. Broadside, just standing there. He's got a herd of cows.
You weren't joking. I actually
He
went
thought
down
we
there
were
and them some
joking.
bitches were gone.
By the
they were
time
heading
he
out.
decided to come out, this elk is
850.
just going up over this little ridge.
750,
Yeah,
850,
He was 750.
950, 1150.
well, you usually like
gone.
to get them out past 700, right?
Gone.
He usually,
Gone. That was the only bull we saw. the
Didn't kill a
entire-
deer either. They lost our binos.
Brand new
Yeah, but
Vortex UHDs.
so take your buddies serious. But yeah, get an elk tag. If you got 2 buddies that drew a mule deer tag and you've kind of got them funds saved up and you either forgot to apply, didn't draw, whatever, tag along with them. Like Chase said, split the cost of some food. Snag a cheaper hotel if you have to, if it's cold. Get you a tent,
Stay in a
wall
tent,
tent. Kodiak Canvas makes some sweet stuff. Whatever. Get you a little spring bar, pop it up, have a good time.
Yeah.
Buy an elk tag, or another option with over-the-counter stuff. A lot of times is you can spend a couple days before you can buy the tag during the week. So like the season date could be open.
Yeah.
Tag along, be the camp chef, cook. If your buddies are like, dude, we just seen some elk, or you go with them and you see a bull, we got a call. That's our time for a commercial. But if you see a bull, go grab a tag.
Yeah.
And we'll cut to a break.
And God said, Let there be light. Last Light's Power Bundle is jam-packed with features to keep your adventure rolling. Enough power to charge your phone 4 to 7 times. Do that with the wireless charge feature, or plug it into one of the 3 USB ports. Maybe you don't do your best work in the dark. So we equipped it with an extremely bright floodlight and light rope. Your dark days are coming to an end. The best part, it's fully solar capable and damn tough. Check us out at lastlightllc.com.
What's up, guys? I've got the new RB Go strap here, the ultimate outdoor utility strap. These things are super lightweight, but extremely tough. I mean, they will hold 75-pound working load or 100-pound max capacity. You can daisy chain them together as you need for more length. Like I said, super light, throw them in your pack and use them whenever you need them. They're good for shed hunting. If you have a load of elk antlers you need to cinch them down, throw them on your pack. It helps keep the antlers from wiggling around on you. You can use them in an emergency, emergency tourniquets, anything that you can rig up that you need an extra strap for, these are gonna be great. They're MOLLE webbing compatible, so they're really good for your backpack, your bino hub, or any odd configuration you can think of. Like I said, use them in a pinch, throw these in your pack, and it's just peace of mind knowing you've got extra straps. I can't think of how many times I've ran out of straps in the hills that I could just use an extra couple feet. They're available in a 2-pack or a 4-pack, so check them out at ridgebelts.com and get you some today.
Like it's nothing. Earn my respect and burn a budget. Tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming, baby, cause I'm dropping buckets.
So we're talking strategy. Is there any final wrap-up thoughts that you have on that topic before we move into turkeys and wrapping up the episode?
I think my last strategy is if I don't draw anything in Utah, I'm just buying over the counter because I don't think I could go a fall without hunting. So if you don't draw where you're putting in for, just start looking over the counter because being in the mountains better than not being in the mountains.
You're right, but Idaho sells out fast, I heard.
They do.
They do.
Resales.
That's what they say, but does it even work? I haven't looked into it ever.
You can buy Colorado pretty good. It might not be the unit you want, but
I've looked into Idaho a lot, and
it's like they come up for sale. Are they realistic? Is the sale going to freeze and they're going to sell out of the come again sale?
How's the
they do it like 4 or 5 times.
Isn't bear hunting in Idaho over the counter, isn't it?
Yeah. You can go
I think we talked to the Fierce guys a little bit about maybe doing a bear hunt in Idaho this year.
I did see. I'm not an expert in Idaho. Never been there, but
never even been there.
Because I've been doing research for like 2 years because I want to go there bad and hunt deer. But I think you can, if you have a deer tag, you can have the option to shoot a bear with your deer tag.
Oh, that's cool
too. But you won't be able to kill a deer.
Don't follow Dan's.
No, it's true.
Dan's not the proclamation, though. You got a freaking Idaho tag. Definitely look into it.
Certain units, yeah.
He is a walking proclamation.
He's a walking, talking
says,
proclamation, dude.
But like we were
He
looking
says you could use thermal out there.
coyote hunt.
Thermal for big bull elk out there. Turn it into a fully
I'm sure
functioning.
people do.
I'm sure they do.
I know guide services do it around here.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Whoa, now we're throwing shade.
Now you're poking at the bear, bud.
Whoa, bud.
They're killing all my animals.
There's a lot of people doing a lot of shady stuff.
Yeah, that was another thing. Before we move on from this topic, you said something on the rifle deer hunt this year when we were getting your buck out alone that really kind of stuck with me. I'm not gonna lie. And you don't say a lot of profound shit.
No.
But you did
Whoa.
say, you said one thing that really stuck with me. And when we got down to that buck, Zach said, the proudest thing I am about this deer was it was all legal. And that's sad to say considering a lot of what people do nowadays. There's some shady shit going on. And even some buddies of mine. And I think, I don't know, that just resonated with me. I'm like, it made me, I was pumped that you got the deer, but it was just like you didn't you're like, I didn't do one illegal thing. And it's not
that I normally
not
do
that- that's
illegal
what
things.
I'm not getting at that Zach's an illegal guy, but it just brought up the funny conversation of there's some people doing some shady shit
man.
nowadays, and
Thermal drones, thermal attachments,
just like
thermal this, thermal that.
everything has to, it's like just to get the clout on Instagram, right? And I don't know, I just was like, it's pretty freaking cool. For me, it made me more happy for you that you got that buck.
Yeah.
And everything was 100% legal. Weren't shooting from the roads, wasn't doing anything crazy. And I think you'd be surprised at how many people do shit like that just to get photo on the social
The
media.
more you're in like the hunting industry, the more you hear about what people are actually doing. It kind of blew my mind, you know,
There's
like
a lot of people I was like,
that are doing stuff, and you're like, man, that's
and
and
it's-
for me, it's like if I did something illegal, like nowadays, like I just feel like it's not worth the risk of losing
I'd lose
your
my
hunting
job.
rights. Yeah, you
Yeah.
would lose your job, you know. But
And we all did borderline shit growing up, like jump the fence, go slap some ducks on someone's property, like things like that, right? That young kids do. But you're talking, there's some shit that you've told me that people have done, and we're not going to ever say any names, but there is some things that, and it's third party, a lot of it. Like we've heard someone, so like it's obviously rumored, right? But there's some shit that is just really screwed up. And then you think about, like I said, I'm a big mule deer guy. How much respect I have for mule deer, like personally, whether it's a joke or not, I would never jeopardize my opportunity to potentially chase them for the rest of my life, or do that just out of respect for that animal.
Yeah.
If they are going to outsmart me with archery tackle or rifle equipment, all the other people around, they deserve to live.
yeah.
And I don't think it's fair for, one, the hunters around you, and two, the animal. And if you are a real hunter and you've done stuff that's shady and you're watching this, I hope you feel it and you change, because that's horrible. But anyway, that did stick with me. I thought that was kind of cool.
It's crazy too. Like people are pretty brave. Like
Yeah.
there's cams.
You can't even
I
shoot
mean, during the
birds
hunts,
anymore.
there's probably not supposed to be cams, right? But there's
People
people
out.
everywhere. There's phones with cameras everywhere. People spotting, connected with their phone, videoing. Like you think you're alone, you are not
No,
alone.
you can't even shit in the woods without
No.
someone's phone scope.
That's why I
Funny
never shit in the
story
woods. I just
about
walk
that.
clog.
I've got a buddy. Maybe we could get the video from him. He sent me
No,
a video.
not a guy
It was
shitting in the
so
woods
damn,
again.
No, it was not that. He's
Everybody's
sitting there
got 'em.
glassing. He's in southern Utah. He's in the desert, okay, and they're in this kind of a high desert, so there's trees. And he's sitting there, and all of a sudden he realizes that somebody's built like a little shanty out in these like this
Yeah.
desert area. And he turns
he
his
hunting?
spot and scope. He's hunting. Turns his spot and scope over there, and this dude steps out butt naked. And then the lady steps out butt naked, and they're just like they've got a broom that they've made, and they're sweeping the dirt by their little shanty
What's
they
wrong?
made.
Okay,
I'm
but
like,
listen,
what?
we went from illegal hunting to just, these guys are living their life, man.
Oh, they're loving it.
Yeah. There's some weird stuff like that too, you know?
How about in Colorado? Go to use the bathroom up the hill, and like find a little bush, you know, whatever. And I look over, and there's a chick. Like we didn't even know anybody was around, and like she's squatting right there, and we lock eyes, and I like turn. I'm like, okay, this
Had a
is
bit of a moment.
so
Had a bit of a
awkward.
moment.
I didn't
Hey.
even go to the bathroom. I just went to like, and then I realized she's staring at me, squatting, and I'm like, oh,
You guys
okay,
are,
this is
you guys are
awkward.
both
I'm outta-
peeing, and then you just scan and you lock eyes, and you had it. And that's how I met my wife. No, I'm just
No.
kidding.
But isn't it? I mean, people are brave though, doing all these illegal things, and there's so many people, so many eyes that can. I mean, you can get caught in so many different ways, and like I don't feel like. Yeah, there's people that do illegal things, and it's like maybe they didn't know they were doing something illegal, but there's a lot of people doing stuff that's so illegal, and they know it, and
It's
they
either
choose to
it's
do
either
it. You know?
blatant disregard for the law that you knew you broke, or you weren't educated enough. And that goes back to the I for some reason I feel like this podcast is directed towards people that have never hunted outside their home state, whether you're in the east or the west. But that goes back to it. Look at the regulations.
Yeah,
and
Colorado, they've got
number
stuff that
two,
I've never.
if
I never
you're
thought of.
if you're a shady person all around, probably just don't hunt.
Just stay home.
Just stop. Find something new. Because like Zach said, people are going to see you doing it. And we've all had our slip-ups. There's been times where I was doing something illegal and didn't know because of my blatant incompetency to look at the law. And that's on me. And like I would take full responsibility.
Some of them are stupid too.
Some of them are
like,
dumb.
You're just like, that's the dumbest thing ever. But
yeah, some of them are dumb,
Man,
but it's the law's the law, and that it's crazy to me how many people purposely break the law, and a lot of it I think has to do with that.
The competition.
Social media, like I want to get the view, want to look cool, and
definitely pushes it.
some shady shit, and this might come off as like the negative side of hunting, but it's realistic, and I think if people start talking about it, the more that guilt eats at those individuals that are purposely doing it, maybe the less that they'll do it.
And you might be younger, like
It might even be poaching.
A lot of times,
poaching too. But
I think a lot of times people do it like starting out younger and stuff. Like you said, we've all done stupid shit when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
But like the older you get, you're like, it is not worth it. Like I've had buddies lose hunting rights. They can't hunt for years and years, and their kids will hunt before they'll be able to hunt again.
Mm-hmm. And they all regret it.
Yeah, and they were younger.
Sure, you only get so many
Septembers, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
Go
what
Hunt.
say,
I think as Go Hunt said that you only
Yeah.
get so many Septembers.
Why would you ruin that?
Yeah, you don't want to ruin that, man. That's what I look forward to every year. Is like
That's
that
all I
time
look
of year, the
forward to.
fall. You know, hunting, being outside, and it's not necessarily just the hunt to kill. It's being with my buddies.
Oh, yeah,
We're
I don't-
camping. We've got new adventures going on. Like we've got all these stories because we've went and done it. You know.
Yeah,
Well, and that's another thing too. Is like, at least us three can attest. Like, if, and this sounds really weird. This is like turning into a AA for hunters. But like if you were someone you know is struggling with compulsive thoughts to break the law, then go ahead and text or call this number on the screen, 1-800 I like to do illegal shit. No, but like if you are someone you know is watching this and you do sketchy shit, just stop or
And,
just tone
with
it
that,
down
too,
or
is
change
like
your ways, right? Like
peer
it's okay
pressure.
to change. Don't let that's what I was getting at.
Peer pressure.
Don't let the peer pressure get to you. Of
Like
the
you
social
got to kind of
media
know
view.
who you are, what you stand for. If you're
Know
on
your
a hunt,
values.
yeah, you know, I'm a kind of a guy like if you want to do that stuff, you go do it. It's not like whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
like younger, like a lot of times you feel that peer pressure. Like, well, gosh, these guys are really good hunters.
Got to cut corners, figure out how to do it too, you know, and eventually it'll catch up to you. I believe to a certain extent that karma's real, and I think that stuff will catch up to you. So just something, you know, if you do sketchy shit, just stop. That's first step's probably to admit you have a problem. This is going to my AA. First step's admitting you have a problem. Second step's just stopping. Third step's try this pill and dial this number if you have any questions.
But another thing though with it too is like let's say you killed a deer using thermal, okay, or somehow use thermal to kill a nice
God,
buck.
I don't even like
Like,
this. Gives me the heebies, man.
I feel like one, you're not enjoying the kill because you're worried. Well, did somebody see me? Did somebody know what I did?
I got
you-
practice on the dog.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
paranoid. Yeah, you'd
Yeah,
have to
you're
be just
paranoid.
so paranoid.
It takes the reward of harvesting an animal that you put all your time into. It takes that completely out.
Or you kill an animal on the wrong unit and you're hurrying, scrambling to move. It's like, man,
Dude.
you don't get to enjoy that.
And it's not worth jail time. It's not worth felony charges. Like, dude, come on.
yeah.
And
definitely
then
not.
it comes back to, like I said, either have respect for what you're pursuing, the animal you're pursuing, or don't hunt.
Yeah.
And I'll stand on that for my life. My dad did not raise me. I mean, my dad's from that era of herd of elk, start letting lead fly and all that shit. But like when it comes down to it, like the core values that he taught me is, first of all, you're either going to eat what you kill, or second of all, have the respect along with that, right? So having that respect comes with being willing to eat what you kill.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I did some shit that I honestly regret. Like, I shot a lot of like just rabbits and birds and things, and I think it's just part of being a kid growing up. But like, part of that hits my consciousness now, and it's like I've got a little boy to raise, and I just want to be that example for him. But that did stand out when you mentioned that, and I don't think I'll ever forget you saying that. I'm like He's proud of this, and we know for a fact in our heart that we did it. You did it the right way,
Yeah.
Hard work.
and we'll do it the right way forever because of who we are as a person. Like I said, if you're that person, seek some help, change your ways, stop it. It's not too late to change. And I'm not saying that like, oh, you haven't been caught yet. Like, I'm just saying, like, change your ways. And I think you'll find hunting's a lot more enjoyable when you're not doing it for a purpose of like getting
That's like
ahead
what
or
hunt
looking
is,
cool.
right? It's the chase and hoping for that right opportunity. And and I mean, yeah, we don't agree with all the rules and laws. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean you can just go break them,
Yep.
right? But I just think it makes it that much better. Like they put those rules and stuff in there for a reason.
A lot of them are pretty realistic, right? And it
Yeah,
just
most
comes
of
down
them
to
are.
respecting what you're pursuing. Like I said, the respect for what you pursue. If you're not willing to eat it, don't shoot it. Definitely don't shoot it out of season. And just have respect for what you're pursuing. My dad taught me that as a young kid. A lot of times I blatantly disregarded it. Like I said,
Other than coyotes, you can shoot as many of those.
Slap
I'm not
those.
eating those.
no. And
I'm
there's
gonna start
there's a difference between there's a difference between respecting what you're hunting and management. That's a whole separate conversation. We could
Speaking
save
of
for a different
weird
one.
meats, you guys tried anything weird?
Weird
something.
meats. Oh, eating
Yeah.
stuff. I've ate frog legs in Ohio. Those were good. I'm sure a lot of
Frog
people
legs.
Lion backstraps.
tried that.
I had
Did you
those.
have lion? I haven't had lion before.
I didn't want to, but
Was it?
I
yay,
ate
nay?
everything though. So
Was it good?
yeah, it was
Was
kind
it?
of like it was a little rubbery.
I've
Kinda
heard
like pork.
people mention they like bear more than
Bear's freaking good too
That's what I've heard.
if you cook it right.
Yeah,
I've had some weird stuff. Some really weird stuff. I've had
the shit I've had is like on cruises.
I've had rattlesnake.
Mm-hmm.
I've ate an animal called a capybara.
Oh, in Brazil.
Yeah, that was
Those are
kind
the
of
things
weird.
I seen in Cancun. They're just hanging around.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Was it?
yeah,
Are you talking about the ones at the hotel that run around?
yeah. They look, yeah, capybara or whatever they are. Yeah,
That's calamari.
I did eat
Just kidding.
capybara though, and I did not know what I was eating until after, and it wasn't too bad. I think a lot of food. I think you could eat a lot of different things as long as you cook it.
Yeah.
Like
So
Steve Ranella,
We
he
took
could cook
eat
anything,
what you
and I think you
kill
could
to
eat
the
it.
max. Oh, dude. Oh, crap. Just ran over a freaking skunk or a raccoon with my truck. I better go back and eat that. I
would
better go
try
back and
skunk.
get that.
I'd try anything.
Better go back and get that meat so I can eat that shit, man, because I don't want to waste it. See, I'm not that extreme. I'm talking like big game, things that have federal laws protecting a lot of them.
Yeah,
And just have respect and change your ways. And that's all that I'll say on that.
yeah.
And enjoy the hunt. And you'll find it's a lot more rewarding,
For sure.
you know? And if that means leaving your phone at home, whatever. Take some pictures or whatever. It doesn't need to be like going live from the dead buck, going live from the tree stand every 5 minutes, right? I think a lot of that's pushing people to the point where they go against what their dad taught them and they're starting to do some sketchy shit. So just stop. Is there anything with turkeys you guys want to mention? It's turkey time.
I have
Got one turkey tag.
I have a depredation tag right
I
now.
got a point.
Ooh.
Is the application for turkeys done?
Yep.
The
Draw
old,
results are in.
The old
Shit, I missed it another year. Gonna have to
By
do the OTC.
And that one sucks because they do not respond to calls.
Yeah, after
hardly
you
at
get
all.
done whiffing them, blowing their freaking ass off, tail feathers, scaring them for the last month and a half, you especially. No, I'm just kidding.
my tag.
That's
My
sketchy
tag
shit.
started in
Just
August.
kidding.
It started in August, but I decided
This
to
guy
wait till
never.
the
He
month.
says he
Depredation.
has a depredation, never hunts it. He just eats his tag.
Yeah, I'm gonna hunt it this year.
That
though.
if you guys want to get a hold
I
of
got till the 14th.
Chase, he's starting a turkey outfitting business.
We got
I know where they're at.
there's 300 in
We
there
go
right
get
now.
you.
They're there every year. They're
I'm
every
gonna-
year.
I'm talking to my grandpa right now. We're gonna do limited entry
Ooh.
guided turkey hunts.
Yes.
So there you go, non-residents.
8 points.
You've saved $800 of your hard-earned cash. Call this number and you'll get a hold of Dan's Turkey Outfitting. And
Want
it's
to
gonna,
kill something with a beard dragging the ground? Hit me up.
and you're looking
yeah.
for that turkey slime.
I mean, there's big old trees along the creek, and then the shit piles are like the scene in Jurassic
at
Park
what
when he's
point are
grabbing
they
the
a
phone out.
nuisance? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So,
I've heard turkeys are comparable to elk. I get pretty
Oh, yeah.
excited chasing those suckers.
I love it, man. When they're and they're strutting
And I don't know
around.
if it's the time of year, it's just like there's not shit to do, or
Yeah.
if it really is. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think any hunt, man, just the like competitiveness inside me, like what I've got to do to get it done. I like that part of it.
going
They're
extreme.
actually pretty smart.
They are.
When a bird gets gun shy, they are way smart. They
It's
go
like the
from the
smartest
dumbest thing
dumb
on
bird.
planet. Yeah, they go from the dumbest thing on planet Earth to the just absolute
Genius.
funnest, smartest, beautiful
Yeah.
animal to hunt. Like, they're cool. And then I shot one last year. That's another thing. You scared me a little bit because you're like, dude, it tastes kind of gross when you kill a wild turkey. I killed one last year, cooked that thing. Best freaking meat I've ever
Dude,
had.
I smoked mine in a smoker, and it did not taste good.
If you know a recipe for wild turkeys, drop them in the comments because we're going to have this episode releasing. We'll be watching. Hopefully
We'll have
bag
a
at least-
turkey.
We'll
I'm
have a
going to be
turkey,
hammering
too.
one in the next week.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be cranking a
I
turkey.
got till March 14th.
He says
so
that.
Oh,
He's going to
oodles
sell
of
the
time.
tag. Don't let him
I wanted to wait till this time of year. I didn't
Yeah,
want to do it when I was
don't
hunting
let
deer.
him
and
fool
stuff.
you.
Yeah.
You don't want to go kill a mulched turkey
No.
out there looking like you're hunting a freaking wet sock covered in lint.
I get it. I get to spend the next 3
That's licking your bumper off of your
Yeah.
truck, dude. Just a wet sock that can't even fly because it looks like it just been dropped in a pot of boiling water. Little wet sock pivoting around, looking like a damn sock monkey out there. Down's got his depredation turkey tag. It's August. He's chasing a mulched turkey.
No way. I would not do that. Maybe I will next year.
Well, they'll be strutting here a little bit.
Yeah, I got 3 weeks, so I get to hunt them before.
Okay, so tune in, and we'll see if Dan, if he's.
We might need to record
I'll go
this.
hammer Jake.
We're gonna see if Dan's
Just to
all
prove
about
you guys
that
wrong.
action. If
Just
he's
prove
all
you
about that
wrong.
action, get it on film, and we're gonna launch a limited entry.
How
turkey
far out
hunt.
of your, is it your grandpa's property?
2 miles.
2 miles?
As
Ooh,
a crow
2 mile
flies.
buffer.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That's
yeah.
same with our cow oak tags. So
Okay.
Let's see if Dan pulls it off. That's a little challenge. What are we putting the waiver on if
Put a
Dan
pull
slaps
on
a
there.
turkey on
Will
this step?
Dan pull off
Yeah,
the
put a
old
pull on
turkey?
there.
Comment below if you think Dan's gonna
I'll get you
slap
a
him more
hammer
this
one.
year.
yeah,
Be the first bird in a decade this boy's shot. He's at 10 tags. God, he's like,
Are you
gosh dang
shooting
it, I
with a bow
didn't kill
or
my
a
turkey.
shotgun?
no, I don't have a bow right now. I sold it,
Oh,
and then I
shotgun.
Unreal.
yeah. So I'm gonna
Or are you going to do a long rifle, dude?
probably an addle.
He's gonna kill it primitive with a rock and a sling.
Yeah,
We'll see if Dan pulls it off. Comment what you think he's gonna do.
I have killed
Maybe
a
he's already
turkey with
done
a
it by
rock.
then.
you have allegedly.
Finished it off.
Finished it off with a rock. I ran out of bullets. Shot it like 3 times. It was still alive. And I was like a mile from the truck. I'm like, I felt
You
bad.
can
for
like
the
either
guy.
wring its neck or
I mean,
Oh no!
do something
Seen
like
the
that.
spurs on those things?
They will get you. I had a freaking pet turkey that would attack people. Remember that?
oh yeah,
Tom raised him from an egg with my dad in an incubator, and he made the newspaper multiple times for attacking the people that would walk by our house. And them all these like everybody's got them in their town. There's soccer moms that walk at like 5 to 9 in the morning,
Oh yeah.
and they walk or they run. Just out enjoying their time. Don't
Maybe
walk.
a yog.
Do not walk past Tom, the freaking baddest turkeys block ever,
He'll get you.
ever.
oh yeah,
Dude, he would bloody up my friend's shins when we'd come home
yeah.
from school.
oh yeah.
Spurring them.
Nathan Allred got spurred by him. Permanent scar right on the shin, dude. He'll never forget that old Tom turkey. And the funny thing about this shows you a little bit about turkeys. We raised this thing from an egg. The only 2 people he behaved to was me and my dad. And
He's loyal.
this sounds weird. Like they say that your baby can hear in the stomach, right, and knows you when they.
So you,
Would you
come out,
talk
used
to the
sing
egg?
to it?
I
put Mozart on there?
vividly remember saying lullabies to my Tom turkey egg, but I do know for a fact I sat there and looked at it like with the light for hours at a time before
yeah.
he hatched. And then he hatched, became a beautiful, angry little turkey. And I've got photos of him riding the truck. This turkey would ride in the truck with my dad and I, just head on a swivel looking for somebody to attack. And I don't know if it was more so like he loved us or if he was scared of us because he felt like we were his parents. But that turkey respected me and my dad and hated everyone else. All my brothers got attacked. I could walk right up to Tom. Ask Chase. I could walk right up to Tom. He would put his feathers down, squat down. I could pick him up.
Whatever
And-
happened to Mr.
Tom. So what happened was with Tom. So we got a.
Is that the recipe you're talking?
Yeah, yeah. He ate him. He ate him. After
Could you imagine? He tasted damn good. He's better bird. But anyway, old Tom, I think, I'm not sure, fact check. My dad's not here, so he couldn't fact check it. But
I wouldn't believe him anyway.
Yeah, you're right. My dad's about as full of shit like me. We got another turkey that was like white and brown feather.
Ew.
One of them wider ones. Pretty looking
they're
bird.
not
It was like a hybrid looking thing. And it was another male, but that male ended up having some sort of, I think, sickness. Got sick and died pretty early on. We bought him as an adult. This bird was just not
COVID.
the bird flu. He got the bird flu. Anyway,
It's all of them.
we're talking hunting turkeys, and then now here we are talking about my pet turkey because this thing meant more than any wild turkey. And then I think what happened to Tom was he either got, because he had a buddy for a while, he either got like kind of lonesome, but he kind of started neglecting his health, like he stopped eating and shit.
Didn't take his meds, huh?
Well, I don't know what a turkey's thought process is, but it seemed like he just went downhill after that one died. And I don't know if he contracted the bird flu from that other one, like got sick, right? Like they contracted something, but he just stopped eating and then he eventually passed away. And me and my dad were actually kind of sad when Tom died.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was a cool, badass little turkey. And then here I am,
I mean,
20 minutes from the house going and blow one's brain off. Like
he rode in the truck. So
Should have taken him with you, dude.
Tom was my boy.
Yeah, you should.
No, but there's another thing. Like I learned a lot about turkeys' mannerisms and like how they act, and like sounds kind of weird. Like I feel like I learned a little bit about how they act, how they respond, the noises they make in certain scenarios, and I didn't have to go to one NWTF show. I had it in my freaking front yard, dude. So it was just like it was like having a live Fox Pro. Like I could hear what he would do in certain times of the day.
You should have been recording him.
I did with my brain. I know exactly because he was a purebred Merriam. I mean, we raised him captive.
He has a hard time with English, but he can speak fluent turkey.
He can speak fluent turkey.
Oh,
yeah,
fluent
Skippy.
turkey.
I know. I can understand what Tom was going through.
Okay.
But rest in peace, Tom. If you're out there in the universe, maybe one day I'll see you. And hopefully you don't spur the shit out of me when I get to Heaven's Gate.
You get to heaven, you think your dog's going to run up to you, and it's old Tom.
No, the first thing. So my dad's there, but I know the first thing I'm going to see is that guy holding that damn turkey. Hopefully there with my grandpa or something like that, just lugging a turkey there in heaven. Old Tom, but he's a good bird, but he taught me a little bit about it. I still suck at chasing them. Like you said, they get bird shy, and I end up missing the draw application. There's application strategy for you.
Yeah.
But end up chasing them over the counter and usually never kill one. Last year I slapped one and it tasted delicious though.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we didn't eat Tom, you screwed up sucker. What is this, a hunting show or is this a PETA show? I don't know, but that's another thing, just like hunter's hearts, man. It's like I can have one as a pet, drive 20 minutes up the road and blow one's brain out and it's
You're okay
come back
with
and I got my dead turkey in the bed of the truck and Tom's over there wanting me to pet him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a weird dynamic, Gus Hunter.
It is.
That's not a negative light on hunting, but sometimes it is what it is.
Yeah.
Have a respect for animals.
It's weird, like conservationists put so much money into something we're ultimately trying to kill.
Yeah,
But if it wasn't for us, right?
They'd all be dead.
that's exactly right. The management, right? Yeah, and that's an important aspect. So I don't think he can dive too deep into turkeys, but I think that's a good spot to wrap up this episode. I don't know how you guys are feeling.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to kill one, so.
Well, that's another.
The poll's going on. We're going to see if
We
Dan's
are
going to get it done
dropping
or not.
the freaking poll right now. If Dan doesn't kill a turkey, what's if he doesn't? What happens?
We're going to put
We're
something on
putting
the
something
line.
on the line here. Does he shave his head?
No. I don't need to do that. I'm already going
If
bald.
Dan doesn't kill a turkey, he
Maybe
shaves his
Dan
head.
has put in a brand new pack of Zen, every Zen that's in the pack all at one time.
Woo!
Yeah.
Just a full arrangement.
Upper deckies, lower,
Lower
deckies,
deckies.
side
Side
deckies, under the tongue deckies.
I mean,
Two in the nostrils, deckies.
some in the eyelids.
All right, we're gonna do every flavor of Zen in Dan's mouth all at once, and we'll record it if he doesn't kill a turkey. If he does kill a turkey, you'll see it on our Instagram,
You guys have to buy this in, though.
and we'll provide it. I think that's a good challenge.
All right. When do you have till? March
14th.
14th.
Mark, holy shit,
So
the time's
I'll
a
go-
ticking.
Will Dan get it done? Or
I'll
will
go
Dan
for
be
turkey.
Get it done. It's till
choking
March
down
14th.
some Zens?
Ooh, actually, Is it a mouthful of Zen that we challenge him, or should we challenge him to swallow a pouch?
Oh no, he could do that.
That's
no
too
problem.
far, huh?
Yeah, I've ate weirder shit than that. So.
Yeah.
I think we throw in a whole pack.
Oh,
of
we do
Zens,
that every
see
turkey.
what
One
happens.
thing before we sign off, we do that every turkey season. Challenge your friends. Play a little game when you're out there, and you know how turkey hunting gets kind of bored sometimes. Boring. Do a game of Would You Eat It? That's a classic.
God,
Oh my god.
We've thrown dried elk shit, bark with spiders, and what you do is basically you and your buddy, you're out hunting turkeys. I'm gonna leave you guys with this because this is epic. This is an epic game.
Or this is weird.
You
it's
you
both.
toss a coin, pick one. You start out. You get to pick what each other eats each time you up the stakes, and the first person to quit loses. And they either have to buy you something or buy you fuel, get you back up hunting turkeys, or get you a treat. But
I never
we've gotten
lose.
to where it's like dried elk shit, dried cow patties.
Just like a salad.
He's
So you guys are just out eating.
He's
shit.
ate a dead spider out of a stagnant pond off a lily pad, shit like that. So just some little spring adventure for y'all.
Yeah.
You know, the snow's thawing
Who came up
and
with
the
that?
dried elk shits.
Obviously,
sure.
It's out
he
there.
came up with that.
Random stuff. I'm not saying go eat dried elk poo, but like just random challenge for you.
Okay.
It's a fun little game, especially because we know how turkey hunting can get. But
Hopefully there's like a pretty cool mushroom by me.
the wild
eat it.
ride, die from a mushroom hunting turkeys. Hunter dies from eating a mushroom hunting turkeys. But yeah, though out this spring, tag us in your success. If
Shit.
you're out slapping birds,
Shit hunting, slapping
if you do
birds.
a Would You Eat It contest, video it and send it to
Oh
us.
God.
Yeah,
I know my top ambassador will do that. Old Larry with Last Lights.
Last Lights with Larry. Oh yeah,
Larry.
Gweeds.
Larry.
Well, Gweeds would do it. I think
yeah.
we can get old
I
Guido
won't put
on
anything
fire.
past that guy.
Dan and I might do it, and we might make a reel on our Instagram. We might do a little Would You Eat It when we're out there.
Okay.
So watch for that. Would you eat it?
I'll win every time. I'll eat
Dan will eat
anything.
anything. Dan will eat anything because he hasn't ate all day.
Yeah, I don't eat all day, so
But thanks for watching. Follow us on Instagram at Elusive Outdoors, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe.
don't forget about our giveaway.
Don't forget about our giveaway. We're giving away $3,000 worth of gear. We got awesome companies: Last Lights, Ridge Belts, Go Hunt and Fierce Firearms, Twisted Rogue, 7 PRC. So get entered for that. Like I said, leave us a review on Spotify. It helps us a bunch. Gets us.
Reach out. in
We're
our
probably
DMs
like
if you
I
have
think we're
questions or
third,
if you
second,
wanna-
right behind Joe Rogan at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
So
I mean,
thanks
he's
a
getting
lot for the
nervous.
support.
Joe's getting
Joe's
nervous.
on edge because we got Joe on edge. Maybe he's our next guest.
I'm starting to wonder if we're on a downward trend here.
We are.
We might be. We might
Thanks
be.
for watching, though, guys. We'll talk to you guys next time.
See ya.
See
See
ya.
ya.